Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV. It's that time again. It's a match reaction for Arsenal versus Bodø Glimt. Right, let's get ourselves into this one.
Premier League champions 2016, Leicester City.
Hope to see you soon. Well done. Bye bye.
Gazzola, Giroud again. Joe Wilson. Here's Gerrard. That's a great strike. McCracken getting closer. To the centre. It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent. Van Persie arriving. Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Robin Van Persie!
Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV. It's our match reaction to the Europa League game against Bodø Glimt. 3-0 winners on the night. First off, just to apologise for last night. I was actually knackered from the hospital, so that's why we're doing the match reaction now. So and get that out of the way. We got the preview for the Liverpool game on Friday, but we'll wait until that. Friday today at 7 p.m. But got our usual co-host Manny here. How you doing?
All good, all good. Can't complain. As long as you're good, I have a reason to be. And yeah, decent game last night.
Yeah, no, comfortable evening last night. Very decent game, I must say. But we'll get into it. Much changed lineup for the game, which I was expecting. And I mean, obviously, it went to the second half that we finally made it comfortable for ourselves when Jesus and the bigger players came on. But what's your initial reaction to the lineup?
I was happy with the fact that he made as many changes as he did and as many changes as he felt like it. Obviously, when it came to the defence, the likes of Tomiyasu and Tierney needed some game time, and I'm glad they got it. Bringing Holding was a little bit of a surprise, and keeping Gabriel over there, maybe he needed to have another chance to sort of, redeem himself in the way for his pretty poor form. A 4-3-3 meant that that was the only system that would accommodate Nketiah. There's a part of me that thinks that the 4-3-3 system is, in some ways, quite advantageous. No thrills, no real spills. We've seen, for example, with Manchester United, whenever they've tried to play that formation, they were crushed by City and also Brentford. Of course, we've got better players than them, but it just goes to show that sometimes you've got to be flexible enough to change tactically in a way if something isn't quite working for you. And from the start, I thought Tierney had a terrific game, bombing up and down. I think I mentioned that so-called assist for Nketiah's goal should rightly have been a goal for him. He deserved that more than he did. And, it was a case of us doing all the little things right, making sure that we had the lead, getting a little bit sloppy. And what disappointed me was that apparently in Arteta's eyes, we got so sloppy that he had to bring on quite a few of his first-team regulars, although it was good to bring on Reece Nelson later on. So that does worry me in a way, but I guess at the end of the day, as you would say, we've got the 3 points, we brought home the bacon, so why should we complain?
Yeah, I get your point about the complacency and making mistakes and that, but being a second team, I would expect something like that. Otherwise, they would be the first team regulars on the pitch, wouldn't they? So, but like, I was expecting him to bring on at 1-0 the bigger players on to seal the game out, rather than making any defensive substitutions. So I'm glad, like, because before he's made defensive substitutions at 1-0, and then we end up getting absolutely torn to shreds. So, or exposed. So the fact he's made some actually attacking ones to go finish the game off, right, shows that maybe he's learning in a sense. But yeah, initially I looked at the lineup, I was like, not surprised. Not surprised with the amount of changes that are there. Kind of sort of the same team that we played against Zurich, to be fair. And actually it's pretty much a carbon copy, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. If I look at the previous game in the Europa League, if I look at the Zurich game and the lineup, yeah, it's literally a virtual carbon copy of that one. Whereas if we go back and look at the Bodø Glimt lineup, yeah, exactly the same lineup as we had for the exactly the same lineup as we have for the Zurich game. So comfortable afternoon, isn't it? Especially against teams that, like, let's be honest, they're gonna be in Europa League next season, most or likely. Next season, Glimt. They're one of the favourites to get the European spots in their league, but they didn't really have anything to offer us, to be honest, in terms of threatening us. There were a couple of moments. I think there was the save of Turner where it nearly got turned in, where he probably should have done better there. He should have been getting a lot stronger hand on his near post there to let that slip go over him. But luckily Holding was there on the line. But yeah, apart from that, there wasn't much else that really bothered us all game. Like, there wasn't anything they could offer that in the midfield that would better what we were putting out there. Hence why we could play such a small and younger team. And it kind of leads me on to say that I said this. Someone said this on, I think, Monday's show with Tommy on Tommy's channel, and I also said it on someone else's show, that being in Europa League probably has more been a blessing in disguise, to be fair, because you think about it, if we're playing the Champions League, we'd have to play our first team every single week and every single game, right? The fact we're playing with our second team, because we're in the Europa League against teams that, let's be honest, we should be winning all 6 games, right? With our second team, it shows that we can rest certain players for the bigger games, like against Liverpool. Liverpool have had to play Rangers, and they've had to do it with their best side, especially at the moment, because they're struggling. Right, they're struggling to get wins. They're struggling to score goals. And actually, if you look at their table in the Euro Champions League, it's not all that's secure. They're going to get through the group, right? So, especially on the form they're on, so they want to play their strongest team against Rangers. Whereas us, we could rest basically our first team and play our second team. The only major players we had on the pitch from the start of the game was Martinelli, Xhaka. I mean, you could put Tierney in there if you wanted to, but I think Zinchenko's back, so you really didn't have to put him in there. So, but yeah, apart from Nketiah, apart from Martinelli and Xhaka, there's the two, and that's it really. So most of the team's saved.
But then here's the thing. Let's also assume that we do qualify for the next stage, either preferably as group winners or, as the second place team who end up winning that playoff and going into the stage against a Champions League reject. Wouldn't you therefore think that Arteta would want to play more of his first team members to try and ensure that he wins the tournament?
Well, it depends what he wants to go for, to be fair. It depends what he wants to go for. And depends what everyone else wants to go for. Like, but we can only decide that later at the time. Like, at the moment, we just need to keep doing the job that we need to keep doing, rather than just worry. We'll worry about that when we get round to it. But at the moment, the main idea and the main whole job of it is to just beat the teams that we're beating, and the only way we need to do that is by fielding a weekend 11 every week, every Thursday. I mean, we're probably paying PSV. We probably might need to put a stronger team out there. If I'm not mistaken, we might have to do it for that. But apart from that, there's not anyone else in that group that we should be losing to. I'd be even surprised we lost against PSV. Like, or get a draw. We should be getting a good result out of them as well. Nothing against PSV. They are a good side. And a big side in terms of the Eredivisie. But we should be beating them quite easily. But let's just go through the comments first. Big up Mel. Hope you're doing okay. Big up Bobby K as well. Hope you're doing well. Hello. Wait, right. Big up Ananatic as well. Big up Steven and Manny. Hope it's all as well. We're looking great so far this season. Big test Sunday coming on. Come on, you Gunners. Afternoon, Steven, Manny, and everyone watching. Big up. Good point, Stephen. Must be about what I was saying about the playing in Europa League. Hopefully, we can win the Europa League this season. The league will be tough to win. Of City. We're not going to win this. We're not going to win the league. I don't know where everyone's coming out on that. We're not going to win the league. We're not going to win the league. Like, that's facts. We're not going to win the league. Like, there's no way in hell we're winning the league. Take the wins we're getting, but we ain't going to win the league. We are going to draw points. Like, sooner or later, we are going to draw points. Like, so, but we should be easily comfortable top 4. Easily. Personally, I'd play our strongest team, as we ideally don't want to come second and potentially face the likes of Barcelona. But yeah, but Luke, to be fair, right, if we do that, we don't really need to be doing it against teams like Glimt and Zurich. In all, to be fair, we shouldn't be needing it for teams like them. Like PSV, probably, but like the Glimt game and the Zurich games, don't need to. It's a complete waste of time. Absolutely complete waste of time. I mean, we either gone to Zurich away and done and won. We're young, we'll have bumps throughout the season, but if we can just challenge the league until the end of the season, that would, Alan, we'll get to about January, February, and then we'll drop off. We will drop off. Trust me. Like, Man City will win it by another 12, 15 points or something. They're just that good. Like, I love to dream, but that's asking a big dream. Big up Melina. But if we stay like we are, and then we improve for next season, then next season, maybe the season after, if we're not saying this next season either, the season after, absolutely. But if we do this well this season, then I'd say next season we should be challenging. And if we don't, then questions got to be asked. So, but we'll worry about that when it gets round to it. But yeah, but I was quite impressed. First, I mean, like I said, the first half we went in 1-0. Obviously, the second and third goal came in the second half. Would have liked to spin a couple of goals up by the end of the first half. And Ketty Tini got very unlucky, and Ketty got very lucky. And it's relief he can actually at least get the ball on target for once. And yeah, and then Holding, to be fair, Holding were with a very good header for a second goal. Easily beat his man, no one marking him, easy left or right, put it in the back of the net. And then Jesus, that third goal, Jesus, the feet that on the byline was absolutely incredible. And then it was a simple side pass to Vieira for an easy tap in. Yeah, Manny, what did you? How did you sum up the goals for you?
Yeah, as I've said, Nketiah's one was probably lucky, but again, we also have to take to be objective and say that if you want him to score goals, and those are the types of goals he has to score, so typical piece of opportunism, and he took it well. Sadly, when the Holding goal was scored, I had lost transmission on the telly, so I couldn't see it. But I would say that for Holding to score a goal with his head, sort of rising and being able to score that, it's going to be a good thing for him in terms of trying to build his confidence up and make sure that he feels as though he does have a part to play, despite being so far out of the first team picture.
Mm-hmm.
With the arrival of Saliba and obviously Gabriel being established. And Vieira again, well, you know, that goal against Brentford really showed us what a sweet left foot he had. And obviously, he does have a shot on him. And that goal as well, like in Nketiah's, was a case of him being in the right place at the right time. And there's a part of me that really has sort of an idea that if something were to happen to Bukayo Saka, given that the idea of playing a left-footed guy on the right as an inside forward is now basically the in thing. Vieira actually played on that right wing position in that 4-3-3 yesterday. So, do you think there would perhaps be some wisdom in playing him as a right winger, if in case Saka can't play?
Possibly, but I'd rather put Saka out there to give the width at the minute. Like, if injuries mount, then it's an option. But at the moment, we're getting the width we need to be able to stretch teams. And the only reason we can do that is by having natural wingers on the wings. So having Martinelli with the option to cut in if he needs to, and same with Saka. So they sometimes can't go down the byline, sometimes they cut in, right? But giving them that freedom of choosing when they want to and when they don't, right, gives us the right balancing width. Whereas if we put Vieira on the right, you'll watch it too many times, he'll come drifting in, right? Which might be all right for the overlapping runner, but it does nothing for our width. And then all of a sudden it becomes too easy to defend because they already have to defend the central area. So for me, yeah, if the injuries mount, then you might have to with giving Vieira strict instructions to stay on the wing. But at the moment, I'd rather just keep it as it is right now.
Perfect. Thanks for answering that.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. For anyone that does want to come on. Like I said, I couldn't do the watch on last night. I was not well at all after my infusion. So this is going to be more of a quick match reaction rather than an hour one, which we usually do. So I do apologise. So because I've seen only extended highlights of it. So, but I'm just glad that the fact that, like I said earlier, the fact that I'm just glad that the fact any how do I put this? I'm just sorry, I need to think. the fact that the Arteta looked at the squad, looked at the way we were at the time, and instead of going defensive, he went offensive to try and get the second or third goal, right? Which was a good call, because if he didn't do that, I'm telling you now, we could have been in serious trouble. Like, because Gabriel and Holding are not great as defending leads. Like, as much as Holding scored a goal last night and this, that, and the other, he cleared one off the line, great. It's Bodø Glimt, let's be honest. Like, and last we need to do is let them have pressure, right, when they've been comfortable all night. So, like, the fact that he went offensive and saw that and went offensive and got the second and third goal to make it a more comfortable evening was definitely a plus mark in my book. I mean, what did you make of like the offensive substitutions?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, when I was on the watch along, I was looking at the subs bench and realizing that, you know, the fact that he named several first-team regulars on the bench meant that it was a sign that maybe in some cases he was taking this game seriously, because he knew that Bodø Glimt weren't going to be pushovers. But it must be said that when we went in at half-time, we were 2-0 up. And we weren't 1-0 up. We were 2-0 up.
Sorry, 2-0 up, so.
Yeah. So, as sloppy as we might perhaps have looked, you know, it's one thing to to praise him for showing some form of proactivity in trying to get the more attacking subs on, but this is supposed to be a game in my opinion, and certainly in the opinion of the people who are on the watch along with me, that you know, trying to get I mean, especially given the nature of this game, the EFL game, surely this also would perhaps have been a good opportunity to bring in some more youngsters on the bench. I believe Matt Smith was on the bench along with Reece Nelson. So why not perhaps maybe wait a little bit until the 70th minute and you know, try and bring them on? Because in our eyes, although we did look perhaps a little bit sloppy, I did not see us being completely in danger of conceding that way, because we did hold them. We did hold them at bay for the most part in the first half, and I certainly didn't believe that we were in danger of conceding. But I guess Arteta saw otherwise and decided that he didn't want to take any chances. And certainly with that 15-year-old not on the bench, my co-watchers and I were not very happy with that either.
Well, yeah, well, at least, like, to me, he's like, if he wasn't feeling comfortable, I'm glad he took measure in his own hands. Like, instead of just sitting there and waiting to react. So, but yeah, I don't know why. Like, I get your points, though, about Gunner, right? But I've just typed in Gooner into Google. Look, noun, Gooner, plural Gooners, soccer slang, someone connected with Arsenal Football Club as a fan, player, a coach, etc. Gooner is a word. It is a term for us. Like, that's, like, it is a term. Like, just what I just wanted to let because he's always correcting me for saying gunner, so I don't know. Like, I know we're called gunners as well, but like, it's also gooners. They can also call you as well. So, but there you go. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's all the same. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. But Arsenal should have also won the game comfortably without the use of Jesus, Saka, and Odegaard too. Yeah, look, mate. Oh, it's that 15-year-old should have been on the bench. Yeah, it's funny how, like, all of a sudden he gets on a Premier League pitch, but he doesn't get on the Europa League pitch. Like, why don't he break the Europa League one as well? Why is that it? You know? Why not? You know? Why not? Break it. Why not? If you're at that breaking records, why don't you do it? Why all of a sudden? This is why it makes it more about breaking the record. Because if it was about giving him game time, well, that's a perfectly good bloody game to give him game time, right? And to play an understrength team against a team that's, let's be honest, nowhere near our level, right? That's the perfect time. That's the perfect time. Is what rival fans? Yeah, but I call myself a gooner, so like there you go. That there you go. Oh well. I thought had Bodø scored that starting 11 would have panicked and we might have ended up drawing the game. So I thought it was the right decision to put Odegaard, Saka, Jace. Look, like it gives them game time. They didn't catch any injuries. Like so, like there you go. It's like whether they do or not. So there you go. Tierney should be starting in the league. He's much better than Zinchenko. I think they're both the same, to be honest.
I actually would be happier with Zin starting in the league than Kieran because
yeah. I would. I'll rather Zinchenko at the minute. So I think Zinchenko's been the better, to be honest, for me. You can pick. You can fuck off. Like yeah, I'm a rival fan. Then get out of here. Yeah, jog on. Yeah.
good old static, making you
calling
laugh.
me a rival. How dare you? Yeah, make sure you do what he's told though. Everyone hit the like and subscribe. Even if he is calling me a rival. There you go. Anyway, we move. Jacques and Tini both play. They all play well in my opinion. I would say they all played pretty well. In my opinion, it was a good team performance. Who is the standout for you?
Me. It's a tough one. I mean, I would be tempted, of course, to pick Fabio Vieira, who had another fluent game. But for me, I thought that Kieran Tierney, in his start, the way he started everything and helped set the tone, and also he was outstanding going forward and didn't put a foot wrong in defence. For me, I'd have him as my man of the match, notwithstanding the fact that he went off a little early. But of course, Vieira had a good game too, and that's pretty much it from me.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. Obviously, I mean, I watched the major highlights, but I did see Tierney was doing a lot down that left hand side, which, yeah, for me, it would be between him or Vieira. Vieira was man of the match for me, so yeah, it's close call. Close call. I should do a poll to it, to be honest, but there you go. We'll do the play. We'll do the player ratings, and what we'll do is we'll do the player ratings, and then we'll get going as well, because we have got another stream later on, so I don't mean knackered for that one. In fact, I've got another two. Three actually, because I've got to go on someone else's afterwards. Oh, Jesus Christ. What? This is a joke, isn't it?
Yep.
It's taking for ages. Give me a minute, guys. Oh, get off that, we are. Fucking thing. Ah, Jesus. So I know if I reset it gets rid of all the. I have to type in the levels again. It's stupid. Anyway. Two more. There you go. One more. There. Done. Jesus. Okay, it was decent. Is that because he scored? Turner 6, Tomiyasu 6, Holding 6, Gabriel 6, Tini 7, and the Congo 6. Well, there's his done. Well, I was going to ask everyone individually as we were doing our own. So there we go.
Yeah, I like the way Luke's done it. I mean, obviously, given the performance and the result, no one gets less than a 6. But I mean, obviously, he and I disagree about the man of the match, but it is what it is.
Yes, Turner.
I think I'd give him a 6 because look, obviously, the first game he played,
I'd give him a 5, mate.
I mean, the first game he played, obviously there were some concerns about his handling, but I think he was able to withstand quite a bit of pressure. I do take your point when you say that, the save, which he
the near post should have been a lot better.
Like because his hand wasn't strong enough, it sort of went over him, if you will. I'm not too sure you can really, in any ways, nitpick that because sometimes when you hit it that hard, you stick up your hand. It's a bit like the Jerzy Dudek save in Istanbul in the Champions League final. It can sometimes just go above you and go in a different direction. And it didn't really go towards the goal. It was sort of
he should be doing better than that. That shouldn't be going over him.
I'm prepared to give him a 6. No
if that was Ramsdale, you'd be doing your nut.
Nope.
For me as a goalkeeper, I'll be doing my nut if that went in. It should not be. That should not be going over his head. I'm sorry.
But
I don't care if it comes off his. Yeah, I know because Holding's there. That's only because Holding was there. But it should, I'm sorry. For me, it's a 5. He's lucky he's not getting a 4 for it.
That is completely harsh.
It is. I'm sorry, but like the ball should never ever go over your head at that near post and not at that angle. No way. He's got to do better.
Well, I would like to give him a 6, but if your call is a 5, let him have it.
Yeah. And work rate. No, I'm being very critical on this one because I expect better from like at that angle. At that angle, right, it wasn't even shot that high. It wasn't even hit that high, and plus he dived down very easily. Like he went to ground very easily, so it made it easier for the striker to try and go over his head. And to be fair, the striker did pretty poor to try and get over his head. It was literally straight at his face. To be honest. So, yeah. But Tomiyasu.
I'll give him a 6 or a 7. I thought he looked good. He looked compact. He didn't make any, bad decisions. 6 or a 7 for me.
6. I'd say. Gabriel.
Looked solid. Didn't really make any mistakes. Didn't concede a penalty.
I'd take Gabriel 6 for Holding 7.
Good call.
As much as I don't like Holding. Tierney.
I would like to give him an 8.
An 8?
Yep. I mean, I made him my man of the match for a reason. He looked really
If
speedy
he's
on
man
the
of the
left.
match, then he's not. No one else is getting that high. So 8 or 9.
I'd give Vieira a 7 then.
Even I think that's a bit harsh. I would give Tierney a 9 if I was your man of the match. I'd give Vieira the 8.
Okay, that's perfect.
So in that case, Vieira will get an 8 then. So where's Vieira? There he is. The what we call him is he Vieira? Vieira's Portuguese, isn't he?
Yep, Portuguese.
He is Portuguese. He's the Portuguese Luca.
Yep, just give him a goatee.
I know. Fuck. What else? Who else is next to him? Xhaka.
Ooh, another good game from him. Looked very sharp. 7 or an 8 from me. I'll give him an 8 if you're giving Tierney a 9.
Give him an 8. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Mel's not gonna be average. You expect a 9. But yeah. Who else was in that 3?
Sambi and
Sambi the Congo.
Ooh, well, he certainly didn't have too much to do. I thought he looked quite solid, decent. Never really distinguished himself, but certainly
6.
didn't put a foot wrong. 6 easy.
Okay.
It's almost as if we're grading these footballers on a curve.
Martinelli.
Ooh, Martinelli. I mean, he certainly did look good, but certainly wasn't completely outstanding. I didn't really remember any standout moments from him. But what he lends to the team in terms of energy, that is something which really lends some potency to the front line. That's what happened today.
That usually
yesterday.
happens every game. So would you? I expect every game. So from him,
I'd
that's
say,
kind of like his natural game.
yeah, but still,
So we
there's
just
no way.
say. So for me, it would be a 6 or a 7.
7. There is no way you can give that boy a 6 in any game. So far, he's been consistently our shining light. Tough on Jesus, but that's just an opinion
there. Yeah, second goalkeeper's dodgy. Okay against League One on Championship level sides. In the long run, should Leno. Well, he's got time to improve his game. Let's put it that way. He's decent, but he's not great. Like, I'm not gonna completely tear him up and say he's absolutely shit after one mistake like that. But if he carries on with those mistakes, then I will start turning into him. Who else? Saka.
Well, he came on as a substitute, so we certainly don't. I certainly don't know if we can give him that high a rating. Again,
Oh no,
wrong.
Marquinhos, innit? Fuck.
And don't forget Nketiah as well.
Yeah, I know. Marquinhos.
I'll give him a 6. He wasn't as sharp as he was against Zurich, but I mean,
okay.
I think he's still showing that he does belong, but he will have a few games where he probably will struggle and not get into the game as much.
Of course, it's his first season. Nketiah.
I do not like him any more than you do, but he did score a goal. He also did.
Careful! You might think that's an achievement. You may not notice this is natural. It's supposed to be what happened, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I get that. I also will say that he did have a few chances that he didn't really, take advantage of. So, I mean, I probably couldn't give him anything higher than a 7. What would you say?
Yeah. Yeah. So moving on to the substitutes then. We'll go with let me have a look at the timeline of these substitutes as well. So I'll have a look at the timelines. So our last substitution was Reece Nelson and Keia. So in Reece Nelson. It's
Reece
5.
Nelson, 5 is quite harsh. I mean, he did miss a few chances, but I mean, I'd like to give him a 6 though, because he should be given some encouragement to improve. I wouldn't
Well,
want to.
yeah, but you've got to rate what he's done, and like, you know, do make sure you like the stream, and yeah, make sure you do that, guys, as well. Xhaka 7. Xhaka looks like a new sign. I hope he keeps it up and doesn't get sent off. Well, like, Melina's gonna give me assurances he's not gonna get sent off. I wasn't blaming her. Do you know what I'd love? No, I'm sorry. I'll have to say this. Metal, if you go to the Emirates on the 30th and he gets sent off, gets Nottingham Forest, do you know what? If I watch that game and he gets sent off, I'm not going to be angry. I'm just going to be laughing. I will actually laugh my head off because he's gone. She'll go there to see Granny to play for live, like, and he gets sent off in the space of the next first 10 minutes. Oh, that'd make me laugh. It would honestly make me laugh. I have to say that. I'm sorry. Most games, I mean, but need more end product. He has got a point about end product. I would say that. One last thing, Vieira scored a good goal, but he still needs to keep improving. Yeah, exactly. King Eddie getting a 10 because he scored. Substitutes: Odegaard 7, second Jesus 8, 6 for White, and Stevenson Nelson manager rating 8. So yeah, we'll go to our Ben White for Kieran Tierney 5. Didn't do much.
Yeah, didn't do very much at all.
Okay. Next, Saka for Marquinhos. 59th minute. Jesus Christ. What's gone into Arteta?
You think you know him, and he comes out and surprises you. I'd be tempted to give him a 6.
Right, 6. Then also Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli double substitution at 59th minute. His watch must be forward by 10 minutes.
Yeah. Jesus did have that brilliant, what you would call an assist.
Yeah, that's got to be an 8. That's got to be an 8 for that. I'm sorry, I don't care. That's an 8 for that fucking move. That was brilliant. That was absolutely fucking quality. I cannot deny it. Like, I'm not even hearing anything other than that. No, triple substitute. What is he meaning with triple substitutions? Is he a fullback gradually? Right, that's what fucked up the Man United game. Odegaard for Xhaka. What do you make of Odegaard?
He didn't do very much. I'd be tempted to give him a 6.
Well, if he didn't do very much, I'll give him box standard 5.
Okay.
Manager's rating.
I think someone's given him an 8, and I suppose I might have to give him an 8 as well, because at least he was proactive enough to do what he had to do to make sure that the game didn't drift, and You know,
I'd probably cry my eyes out, bro. Yeah, I'll be crying my eyes out with laughter. I'm sorry, I would. I don't want to be mean, but I would. I couldn't help but laugh.
laugh at what?
If Mel went to go watch Arsenal play, right, Xhaka gets picked in the team and then gets sent off in the first 10 minutes. Well,
I mean,
actually, 3 games before the game you're supposed to watch, she's gonna be like literally praying to the Lord, don't get sent off, don't get sent off, don't get a red, don't get a red. Right, right.
I think, to be fair, mate, she wouldn't be the only one praying. I mean, there are quite a few of us who remember days gone by and will be thinking exactly the same thing.
Yeah. I was actually tempted to make Jesus my man of the match. Yeah, there you go. Big up, Munzy. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, those are the ratings for this week, this game, and yeah, just another solid performance. Move on to Liverpool, and that's gonna be a big test. We've got the preview coming up at 7 with the COP Council. So yeah, there's not much else for me to say, to be honest. There's not much I can say, to be honest. But yeah, just keep doing what we're doing.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it any better.
We did. We gave him a night, Alan. Saka needs a rest. Hasn't been at his best for a while now. To be fair, he had a waste in the summer. To be fair, like that's why I said like Nelson is back. Wouldn't mind a little run. Not the next game. We need Saka in the next game. Ananatic. I don't do refs. There's not enough minuses. There's not enough minuses to do refs.
No.
So I don't bother.
In any case, the referee did a decent job. He
I don't bother. They're all shit. They're all shit. Just kidding. Yeah, they're all shit for me. Yeah, there's not much else I can say other than that, to be honest. But yeah, just keep doing what we're doing. So and hopefully we'll beat the living shit out of Liverpool this time. Make a change. But yeah, yeah, we're gonna leave it there. Make sure everyone do hit the like button, please. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Do share it as well. We really would help if you can do that as well across your platforms. Manny, where can I find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Thangadurai 1981. That's my surname and my year of birth. You can catch me on Instagram at Manny Thangadurai 1981. That's my full name and my year of birth. You can catch me on a few other YouTube channels: Del Boy Gunner TV, Oris Talks Football, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollip, King's Football Show with King Sait. Done a few streams with him. The Football for Thought podcast on NS Sports TV. I've also been doing some streams with a few new channels, Tony Claude Gunner TV, and also I'll be doing another stream with the True Red Devils TV. Done a couple already, and you know, you can find me on a few more channels on YouTube, just making my presence felt. Always happy to go wherever I feel welcome. Might be starting a new channel very soon, in which case you all will be the first to know. But until then, just happy to keep saying what I want to say, letting chips fall where they may. And with that, I bid you all good day. Peace, and I'm out.
Pretty much. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all right? And yeah, if you don't want to hear me bitching, make sure Arsenal keep winning. Simple as that. Yeah. But we'll see you at 7 p.m. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you then.